Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well and welcome to a brand new video which, as you would have seen by the title, is an assumptions about me video. Yes, so as I just said, this is going to be an assumptions about me video. If you guys follow me over on Instagram, then you may have seen that I asked whether you guys wanted me to kick the year off with a Q&A or an assumptions video, and the poll was very close, but assumptions actually won by like 5%, I think. So here I am doing my assumptions video. I probably will do a Q&A at some point through the year as well, but I thought either of these videos is quite a good thing to start the year with. If anyone's new here, it's quite a good way for you guys to get to know a little bit more about me. And yeah, if anyone is obviously joining the family, it's a good place to start and a good video to have on my channel. So yes, I then asked all of you over on Instagram to send me your assumptions, which I got a fair few responses. I haven't fully looked through them. I'm gonna literally just look through them as I talk through them now. Obviously I've seen them like popping up and seeing that I've got replies, but yeah, not properly read through them. So this is gonna be like my first reaction to your assumptions about me. But yeah, there's no need to make this intro too long. Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so the first assumption that I got a couple of times is you regret you going to uni or you wish you did a different course at uni. So they're like two uni ones. So I guess I'll start with you regret going to uni first. I do not regret going to uni at all, and I can 100% say that I will never ever regret going. Obviously because it meant that I came out with a degree and it's got me to where I am today, but also the memories, the experiences, the people I met would have never ever happened if I hadn't have gone to uni. Or it would have had, like I may have met other people and I would have done other things, but I wouldn't have had the memories that I have now if I hadn't have gone to uni. So to say that I regret that is not true at all. Like I would recommend going to uni to everyone out there. Obviously I get it, it's not for everyone in the sense of like not everyone wants to study. And to be honest, I feel like 50% of the people only go to study anyway. Like a lot of people just go for the social and like the uni life, which actually, as silly as that sounds, it teaches you so much about life. Like living on your own, cooking for yourself, cleaning, having to do things on your own teaches you so much. So I would definitely recommend anyone that's thinking about going to uni to go. I think if you just do your research and find the unis that are sort of right for you, because obviously you have ones on campus, off campus, like there's loads of different things to consider, but yeah, you definitely should go to uni if you are thinking about it. So then following on from that, do you wish you did a different course at uni? No, again, I do not wish I did a different course at uni. For anyone that doesn't know, I studied fashion management and I am so glad that I did study that. I think I've mentioned this on my channel before, but I actually originally applied to uni to do sociology, it then changed to criminology, and then I ended up doing fashion management. And yeah, it's the best decision I made. Obviously I work in the fashion industry now, I do influencer marketing, so yeah, I'm very happy with my job, and had I not have done the degree that I got, I probably wouldn't be in the position that I am now. So I do not regret doing the course that I did. And I think another great thing about the course that I did do is that a lot of people think to work in the fashion industry you have to be creative, or to do like a fashion related degree you have to kind of be a designer or quite creative. And yeah, I have a creative mind, but I can't draw and I can't design. Like that's not where my expertise is. So actually the course that I did is like a bit more of a business course. So for someone that wants to go into the fashion industry and necessarily doesn't want to be a designer, it's a really good course for that. And generally Nottingham Trent has a really good range of fashion related courses, and they have good relationships with a lot of brands. So if you are considering doing fashion, then I would definitely recommend checking out NTU. But obviously there are other great unis as well. That just happened to be the one that I went to. Okay, so following on from uni, obviously I had a lot of work related assumptions. So one of them says, you seem super motivated and successful in your career. How do you stay motivated in work? So I guess there's various aspects to this. I think motivation is something that you have within you anyway, but then obviously there are other things that can help motivate you. For me personally, I've always been quite motivated and always quite driven. I've always known what I wanted to do, and I've always kind of made the steps and done the things that it's going to take for me to get to those places. For example, I knew I wanted to work in what I do now, so I obviously started doing my own social media platforms. I grew those, I did internships, I helped at places, I got a part-time job within the fashion industry. So all of that experience helped me to get to where I am today, and without that I probably wouldn't be here. So I think that has always been a motivation, knowing like goals. And I think setting yourself things to work to is what keeps you motivated. Even in my job, like if I don't have things that like my manager tells me we need to achieve, or key things that we have like coming up, or focuses, then I don't feel motivated because I don't know what I'm working to. I'm not someone that can just work kind of in the rhythm of life. Like I need something to work to, I need to set myself goals, I need to set myself targets. So I think that's a really big way to stay motivated. If you're someone that struggles with motivation, set yourself little targets if you struggle with motivation, and then gradually make those targets bigger, and as you start to achieve them, you'll start to feel a sense of like fulfillment, and I think that sense of fulfillment is then what drives you to keep moving forward and to stay motivated. So yeah, and I think when it comes to your career, obviously that assumption specifically mentioned my career, doing something you love, I think there's so much pressure on young people to find a job, figure out what you want to do at a really young age. But actually, if you end up in a job like straight out of uni and then you think it's not for you because it's like what you did your degree in, but actually you're not enjoying it, I feel like don't be afraid to change. I think the way you're going to enjoy what you do and be motivated is if you do something that you love. I love what I do, and I think that's why I'm so motivated, because I enjoy what I do. I think if I was getting up to go to a job that I didn't enjoy or that I didn't want to be at, I wouldn't have the motivation that I do have. Okay, so then following on from that, another assumption that I got is that you have high expectations for yourself. I think this assumption would be correct. I do have very high expectations for myself, but not in a negative way, in the sense of like having those expectations and putting that pressure on myself, like a healthy amount of pressure, makes me driven to work and want to achieve things. Like I said with the motivation question, if I don't have things to work to, I feel a bit lost and I feel like I don't have a sense of direction. So I always want to know what I'm working towards or what I want to achieve, whether that is in my personal life, my influencing life, or whether that is in with my career. Like I always need to know what I'm working towards. So yeah, I think having high expectations is what makes me achieve the things that I do achieve, and like where I'm at right now, I'm very pleased with everything that I have achieved and everything that I have got. I have worked to get. No one's given that to me. Obviously I know like my parents have helped in the sense of they buy me equipment when I ask for it at Christmas, like lighting, cameras and all of that, but in terms of the actually like reaching out to brands, creating content, like that all comes from me, and that's come from within, and that's because I have set those high expectations to myself. And I think everyone has dreams and aspirations, and actually a lot of those dreams can be achieved. You just have to make sure that everything you're doing in your life and the steps you're taking towards achieving that, if that makes sense. So yeah, I set myself very high expectations, but it's just because I want to know that I've done my best and tried my hard to achieve the things that I want to achieve. Okay, so my next assumption is you are from London. No, I am not from London. I am actually from, well, I live in Derby, like that is where my family home is. So for anyone that doesn't know, that is the Midlands. But I live in London now because I have got my job down there. So I have an apartment in London, and that is where I live now. I was actually born in Newcastle. Random fact, which many people don't actually know about me. Yeah, I was born in Newcastle because that's where my parents lived at the time. So my birth certificate actually says Newcastle, but we moved from there pretty much straight after I was born. Hence why I don't have the accent or anything. But yeah, I've grown up in the Midlands, went to uni in Nottingham, so I lived there for a little while. But now, yes, I do live in London, but I am not from London. To be honest, like I love city life, but I don't think I could live there. Like growing up there would be hectic. Like it's a very crazy city. There's a lot going on. It's very fast paced, and I think it's great for now. But even like going into the future, when I obviously start my own family and buy a house, I don't think it will be in London, just because I think city life is very much for right now. But actually for like growing up and having a family, like I don't think it is the right place. But obviously if you choose to do that, then by all means, like I'm not knocking it. But just for me personally, because I have grown up in the Midlands, I think I like being here. And also you're just central to everything. Like we've debated moving to other places in the country before, and actually being in the middle, you can literally get pretty much anywhere within the same amount of time. Like going down to London takes me 2 hours, going up to Manchester takes me 2 hours. So I can pretty much get anywhere in the same amount of time. So yeah, I'm actually from the Midlands. Okay, so my next assumption is you've always wanted to work in fashion. So I'd say yes and no. I think I've always had an interest in it, but whether I wanted to do it as my career, then possibly not. Because I always thought, like I mentioned, that to be in fashion you had to be like a designer, or you had to want to like be able to make clothes, which I am not either of those things. So I guess from that standpoint, I always thought like I couldn't have a career in it, but I have always had an interest in it. That's why I started doing my Instagram and posting pictures over there. That's why I got a part-time job at Topshop. So yeah, I think I've always had an interest, but whether I've always wanted to do it as my career, possibly not. But then I guess when I started to explore that, and obviously through applying to uni, when you look at all the different courses, and I realized there was a course like the course that I did do, then I kind of knew that that is what I wanted to do. And now, yeah, I haven't looked back. Like I love the job that I do. I'd kind of seen this job and knew about like this industry, and I'd always wanted to work in it, but I guess I never really knew the route because no one ever really teaches you about it. I feel like in school you just learn about like the generic jobs, like a doctor or a dentist, like those kind of titles, but you don't learn about the sort of in-between roles that exist within businesses, which is obviously what I do. So yeah, I think in terms of career, no, I haven't always wanted to work in fashion, but I have always had an interest. But now that I am in the fashion industry, I love it, and I wouldn't want to be in any other industry just because it brings my interest and my hobby and my passion together with work. So that is why I enjoy it so much. Okay, so another assumption is you're planning lots of holidays for 2022. Yes, is the short answer. I'm hoping so anyway. Obviously travel is still affected by COVID at the minute, so it will depend on what happens there, but COVID permitting, yes, I plan to travel as much as possible. If you watched my goals for 2022 video, then you would have seen that one of my goals is to travel to at least 3 different countries this year and go on at least 5 holidays. I do actually have a trip planned very soon, which is kind of crazy to think about because it's literally in a few weeks, but again, that will be COVID permitting. It's all kind of booked, but it's like provisional and we can cancel pretty close to the date we're meant to go, so it's kind of secure that if we can't go because of COVID, then we can cancel it. But yeah, I definitely want to travel a lot more. I think that's one thing that in my life so far I haven't done much of. I haven't traveled. I've obviously been on quite a few holidays. I have been to a fair few places, and that's just kind of been with my family. But I think now that I'm in a position where I can travel kind of on my own or like with friends, I definitely want to do it more. So yes, I am definitely planning lots of holidays for 2022, but as I said, COVID permitting. Okay, so I have another assumption which actually made me laugh when I read it. You're friends with loads of influencers. Yes and no. Again, I guess it's what you consider a friend. Like to me, I obviously have like friends through what I do on Instagram, so there are loads of people that we regularly interact, we message, we comment on each other's photos, we like and support each other, we'll always share things. But actually, have I met all of those people? No. So if you consider a friend to be someone that you physically like meet up with and go out with, then probably not. But in terms of like through social media, yes, I have a big group of friends. I think that's the best thing about especially the micro-influencing community, that everyone is so supportive. Like obviously it's a saturated industry, but everyone is still supporting everyone because everyone wants everyone to do well. Take a shot every time I said everyone. But yeah, so it's a very supportive area. I think obviously everyone's trying to make it, so you kind of need each other's support to all get there. So I have lots of friends, and actually my plan for 2022 is to start meeting up with more of those people because yeah, like I said, we speak all of the time, but we've never actually met physically in person. So it will be hopefully a good chance for us to start meeting in 2022, especially because now I live down in London. A lot of the ones that are local to the area, obviously it's easy for us to meet up, or a lot of my Instagram friends come down to London to shoot content on like content days, so it would be great to like have a content day with them and then add in like a social at the end, so that way we can be meeting. But also I have a lot of friends around the Midlands area as well, so yeah, I'm very lucky that we have like quite a supportive friendship base within the like micro influencing community. But in terms of like physical friends that I see all the time, no, I don't. Like all of my friends from uni don't really do social media. Obviously they are really supportive of what I do, and if I'm with them and ask them to take pictures for me or be in my content or help me, they're always really supportive. They back everything that I do. They want me to succeed, they want me to do well, and they're always supporting me. But yeah, none of them are in like the social media industry in terms of like influencing. Some of them obviously do work in marketing, which is like business, obviously the business side of it, but no, in terms of what I do on like Instagram and here on YouTube, then no, I don't really have many friends that I see often. But yeah, like I said, there is a big Instagram community and I'm lucky to have quite a few friends within that. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more because I don't want this video to be too long, but I'm gonna finish on this one because I feel like this is such a common thing that like people think about the influencer industry, and like people just like when you think of an influencer you just think of this, but it says I assume you get loads of free stuff. I mean, yes and no. Like there is a lot of free things that brands will send, especially like skincare. I get loads of skincare products, clothes obviously because I do fashion, I get sent loads of clothes as well, but you kind of, I still spend my money on clothes, if that makes sense. I think people assume that like almost everything that I post or everything that we share is like sent to us for free. We didn't buy it. It's like hashtag gifted. But a lot of it, yes, is. But because fashion is like an interest of mine and I like to shop and I like to buy new things, it's probably like pretty 50-50, if not more, of what I've bought compared to what I'm sent. So yeah, I do get quite a lot of free things, which I'm very grateful for, and it's obviously a massive perk of what I do, and it's like a great treat in the sense of where necessarily sometimes we don't always get paid for the work that we do. When we get some free items, it's kind of like a compensation. But yeah, no, it's definitely not everything that we get is free. Not everything that we have is free, sorry. So yeah, I hope that answers that. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed me answering some of your assumptions. I tried to group some together so that I wasn't here forever talking and you guys got bored. But hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, then please do give it a big thumbs up. I wanted to keep this video quite chill. I was actually going to do it as a drive with me, but I can't lie, the weather has been horrendous. So yeah, I decided to just do it as a little sit down video. But the more videos that I have planned are definitely more active. I have a few vlogs planned, a few spend the weekends with me. So hopefully you guys will enjoy seeing those. If you do, then please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications so you know when they go live. But all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you all in my next video. Bye.